my name's Nick Woodward. I'm an academic engagement manager at Connect Places, and I'm talking about research in residence. The third call that we're running, and this is run by the Innovation Launchpad Network Plus. So, research in residence, what is it? It's a scheme to promote collaborative relationships between the Catapults and UK universities. And this does this by offering 50k grants to academics to buy out their time so they can work on a project with us. The scheme is funded by the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council, EPSRC. And this council, although they're kind of focused quite heavily on engineering, it goes much broader than that in this particular scheme. So it hasn't necessarily got to be an engineering focused project. But projects must be in one of the kind of core themes that they want to see their funding be used for, which are net zero, resilience, or healthcare and wellbeing. So for this particular round, we are looking at 5 different areas. I've made number 4 bold for this particular audience. So looking at the kind of best practice for sharing data sharing agreements in connected digital twins. So for this, we recognise that there are barriers around sharing data, particularly from different organisations in terms of forming digital twins. So we're looking at how we can start to address, share learning and try to reduce that barrier within that particular area of focus. So we've also got, as you can see, 4 different areas which I won't dive into quite as much. And there are also, if you like the idea of the scheme, there are 8 other catapults also advertising and looking for academic partnerships as a part of this scheme. So feel free to go and have a look at those as well. What are we looking for? We're looking for UK-based academic staff. Your contract must last longer than the duration of the project you are proposing, or the university should provide a letter of support stating that they will support your project. You should have a PhD or equivalent research experience in order to carry out such a project. This could be for anybody in terms of earlier or later stage academic careers. So it could be quite a good opportunity whether you're looking to create impact at a late stage in your career, or whether you're looking to try and secure some early research funding to start your career. We're also mainly focused in research which is quite applied. So hopefully those challenges give you an idea of what the sorts of things that we're looking to try and do. And we're really trying to use these opportunities as a way to open a door or create a new project or conversation, so we can start to look at what the next project might be off the back of this one. We recognise that lots of the grants are quite small in terms of an academic 50k grant, so it kind of just gets the ball rolling, but hopefully this will create interest and then start to move things forward from there. What makes a good project? So we're really keen to talk to you, particularly engaging with us so that our teams can make sure that your idea is aligned in terms of the mission and how we want to move things forward, but we also want to make sure it's mutually beneficial and it benefits your research focus as well. We want to ensure that there's an opportunity to collaborate, so that as you can see, as part of the Digital Twin Hub, the CPC does quite a lot of work with digital twins. So we would like to use some of our expertise as well as benefiting from yours. So it's a true collaboration. And we want to make sure there's a clear pathway to impact as a part of these projects. Projects ideally will last around 12 to 18 months. The reason for this, I think, if the project goes beyond 18 months, we start to see the projects get a little bit stuck and they don't make as much progress as they could do, and that's due to the amount of time being able to spend on this. And if the projects are shorter than 12 months, around about 6, there just isn't quite that time to build the relationship. So those are the ideal project lengths for us. And lastly, how to apply. So we're really interested in having some conversations with people about how we can try to address this challenge. So feel free to drop me an email. Once we've had that conversation, there's an EOI form or expression of interest. So you just need to complete one of those by the 30th of November. The EOI is very easy. Essentially, you just need to ensure that we've had that conversation and it seems like a positive one so that we can take it forwards. And then full applications are due in January with a date to be confirmed. So that's it from me for now.
And the next 2 questions, Nick, for yourself is, First one, the one highlighted in purple. How are you ensuring that the academics are taking on board the cybersecurity learnings that were identified in the 5G tests and trials work sponsored by government?
So I think at this point we're looking to try and receive ideas from different academics. So I think trying to get new perspectives on things that they're concerned about in those areas, but certainly as a part of the academic staff and the academic teams, we'll be trying to work across the Catapult network and getting different ideas on these particular projects. So very interested to engage with a number of different stakeholders to ensure that, I suppose the point that we're getting at is wanting to try and remove that barrier, but not wanting to compromise some of the safety elements and some of the security elements and the important protection elements that legal agreements bring to some of those digital twins. So it's going to be a bit of a process, and we're going to try and be very collaborative in the discussions that we have, and bringing in all the knowledge that we've got into some of those areas.
Brilliant, thank you. And the next question for yourself, Nick, is this question asker is a tranche 1 researcher in residence who's looking exactly at the problem of data sharing digital twins, but with the Energy Systems Catapult as opposed to connector-based Catapult. Happy to connect and find overlaps with your project needs.
Yeah, that sounds great, Ola. If you could reach out, we'd be happy to discuss and get an idea of what your project's looking at and how we can avoid duplication and maybe make sure that we're getting a new angle or a new spin, and that might be an opportunity to try and explore that research area and draw even more attention to it and create more best practice in that area.
Brilliant. Next question we have here, Nick, is for yourself. Is can this be academics who are on work placements? They can run a project in an industrial environment.
So you would need to be based at a UK university. So I reckon academics can wear numerous hats, and they may not have a full-time role at a university, and they may have industry links as well, but they need to have, so the funding will go to the university where the academic is based. So if the academic isn't based there, that we can't fund that opportunity. So if the academic is employed by the university and we can backfill their time, then that's a possibility, yes.
Brilliant. A question here is, Nick, to yourself, is at Amy, we're considering several of your research questions. How can academic partners, industry partners get involved in the research initiative? Will it improve the applicant's prospects to have an industry partner involved?
So yes, I think getting involved, it's definitely going to be helpful if there are industry partners that are recognizing that the projects that are coming through are useful. So we'd certainly be interested, even if you're not an academic and you're an industry focused or government focused person on the call. We'd be interested to know which questions you would like to get involved with, so we can involve you later on in the project. So once we've kind of recruited the academic and got everything kind of sorted in terms of collaboration agreements, then we can start to set up interviews and different things, so you can feed into some of those results or contribute towards some of the research which is going on, and then of course we'll disseminate the outputs via sort of connected places and through this channel. So certainly lots of opportunity to get involved. So just drop me an email with which ones are of interest, and we'll keep that conversation going.
Brilliant. And is this opportunity, Nick, open to research associate staff?
So I'd need to check the definition of research associate. So if you are employed by university and you are kind of past your PhD level, or you've kind of moved through into you're kind of an academic and you're employed by the university, then I think that there's definitely an opportunity to do that. We just need to check what your kind of eligibility is. So if you wanted to drop me an email with a bit more detail, then we can hopefully explore that.
And another one, Nick, for yourself, is can the case studies be outside the UK?
I think the case studies can gather insights from outside the UK, but the predominant thing that we're looking for is for a UK benefit as a part of the scheme being funded by UKRI, so UK Research and Innovation. So we'd be looking to, as long as there were case studies and learnings, then certainly if there are things that, from Europe or abroad that we can learn from, then that would be great.
And I think you've probably answered this one indirectly in a number of the other responses, but just to ask it explicitly in case there's anything you wanted to provide on top of that, is what is the definition of academic staff for project submissions?
I think if you're checking eligibility, it's probably easier if you drop me an email with your situation, and then I can pick that one up.